Welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker. And first things first, if you are here, hit the like button. Go ahead, like the video. I know how it is. Sometimes I get caught up. I'll start watching YouTube videos and I forget to hit the like button. Go ahead, hit the like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe too. Also, if you have a question about any of the math that we go over today, please drop your comment in the comment section. And also, please share this video with at least one person. Now, what are we getting into today? If you're familiar with this channel, then you've probably seen me wearing this Thomas Sankara t-shirt before. You've probably seen me in a video about some math topic, talking about Thomas Sankara, singing his praises, talking about the country Burkina Faso, which was formerly known as the Upper Volta region before the Burkinabe Revolution, led by, certain many people, including Thomas Sankara, who was the president at the time. Unfortunately, Thomas Sankara was assassinated by the French government and other European powers, right? European and Western powers, right? Because he did not want the country of Burkina Faso to be a colony of France. He wanted sovereignty, wanted independence, right? As we should have, right? So he was born on December 21st, 1949. He was assassinated on October 15th, 1987, similar to how Patrice Lumumba in the Congo was assassinated in January of 1961. I want to say, was it January 61? It definitely was in 61. It might not have been January. And many other people, throughout the continent that wanted sovereignty for African people and African nations. All right, so, but today, and this is, as I record this video, was May 4th, 2025. The current interim president of Burkina Faso is a brother named Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore also is attempting to challenge colonialism, right, in Burkina Faso, just as Thomas Sankara did, when he was in leadership. All right. Now, Ibrahim Traore was born March 14th, 1988. So I got a couple questions up here. How long between their births? How long between their births? So how many years was it between the year Thomas Sankara was born and the year Ibrahim Traore was born? Now, when was Thomas Sankara born? He was born in 1949. 1949. All right. And where was Ibrahim Traore born? He was born in 1988. 1988. That's the year I turned 8 years old. All right. So how are we going to do this? We're going to do some subtraction. We're going to do some subtraction. Now, there's several ways that we could do this subtraction. We could use the traditional algorithm, or we could use another trick that involves negative numbers, right? Matter of fact, let's do it both ways. So we're going to do 1988 minus 1949. 1988 minus 1949. All right, so one way is like this. You write down 1988. Underneath of it, you write down 1949. This is like the traditional algorithm. Let's do it that way first, right? This is the way, like, if you're an adult watching this, you probably learned this method in elementary school. All right, so you start at the far right. You got an 8, and you got an 8 minus 9. Now, using this method, heavy, and I'm emphasizing this method, right? We do not want to end up with a negative value. So because we don't want to end up with a negative value, we're going to do something called regrouping, right? Using this particular method. There are other methods where a negative value is fine, but just not with the traditional algorithm, right? Which is what we refer to this as. All right, so then we go to the tens place. And I'm going to take 10 from this 80, because this 8 right here, because it's in the tens place, it's really an 80. So I'm going to take 10 from there, and that's going to become 7 or 70. I'm going to take the 10 from there and put it with the 8. 10 plus 8 is what? 18. So now I got 18 minus 9. Now, because that's going to give me a positive value, that's cool. Go ahead and do the subtraction. 18 minus 9 is 9. Write that down there. All right. Now we come back to the tens place. We got 70 minus 40. 70 minus 40. 7 minus 4 is how many tens you got. 7 tens minus 4 tens. That's equal to 3. All right. Then 9 minus 9 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. These zeros are unnecessary because they're in the largest place value, leaving us with 39. So it's 39 years between, right, the birth of Thomas Sankara in 1949 and the birth of Ibrahim Traore in 1988. Now, if you want to get technical, we could say it's actually only 38 years because think about it. If Sankara was born in December of 1949 and Traore was born in March, in order for it to be a full 39 years, he would have had to be born after December of 1988. And March, of course, is before December because it goes March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, then December. So if you want to be technical, right? You want to be more precise, I should say. then it really is a 38-year difference, right? Because he wasn't born after December of 88. All right, let's do this another way. Let's do it another way. Because one of the benefits of understanding math is that we can learn different methods to do the same thing. All right, so let's rewrite it. Let's write 1988 on top minus 1949 on the bottom. Now, this method, doing it this way that I'm about to show you, we can have negative values. We can have negative values, and we start at the far left. So we do 1 minus 1, which is 0. We do 9 minus 9, which is 0. We do 8 minus 4, which is 4. We do 8 minus 9. 8 minus 9 gives me a negative value. So in order to show the negative, I put a bar on top of the number. So that's negative 1. That represents negative 1. All right. Now, what do I do with this? This is a 4 in the tens place. So that represents 40. And this is a negative 1 in the ones place. So that represents minus 1. And what's 40 take away 1? 39. Didn't I get that right there? See? Right? This involves understanding place value, right? And place value and base 10 expansion. All right. So that's another way to get 39. So there's 39 years between the births of Thomas Sankara, who I got on my chest right here, and also Ibrahim Traore. All right. Born in 1988. All right. Now, how old is Traore now? All right. So it's 2025 right now. As I record this video, he was born in 1988. So we want to find the difference between 2025 and 1988. So let me show you another method. This is called the combined differences method, or some curricula or some people call it the combined differences method. So we're going to do 2025 minus 1988. So we're going to go, how would I do this? I would go from 2025 to 2020. It's almost like I'm counting backwards. But I want to go to numbers or years that end in 0. So then I find the difference between these 2 years, right? And then I go from 2020 to 2000, right? Find the difference between these 2 years. Then I go to 2000 to 1990. Find the difference between these 2 years. Then I go from 1990 to 1988, and I find the difference between these 2 years. So the difference between 2025 and 2020 is 5. 2020 and 2000 is 20. 2000 and 1990 is 10. 1990 and 1988 is 2. And then I add these numbers up. 20 and 10 is 30. 30 plus 5 is 35. 35 plus 2 is 37. So that means that he's 37 years old right now. He's 37 years old, and his birthday was in March, and we passed March of 2025. So yeah, that's true. He's old. He's 37 years old right now. All right, and this is called the combined differences method, right? Where you basically break the subtraction problem up into smaller subtraction problems. You break the subtraction problem up, which would have been 2025 minus 1988, into smaller subtraction problems, and you're basically working backwards. And you look at these smaller differences: a difference of 5, a difference of 20, a difference of 10, a difference of 2. Then you add the differences together, and then you get your total difference, which is the difference between 2025 and 1988, which is 37. All right. Now, but I feel like we got some time. I feel like doing it, this method. Let's use the traditional method. So 2025 minus 1988. All right. So I want to do 5 minus 8, but using the traditional method, I don't want to end up with a negative value. And 5 minus 8 would give me negative 3. So I don't want that. Right. So I'm going to regroup. So I'm going to go to the tens place. See this 2 right here? That's really a 20. That's really a 20. Make sure if you're a parent watching this, make sure your children understand that even though this is a 2, it's not really a 2. It's really a 20 because it's in the tens place. It tells you how many tens you got. So if you got 2 tens, it's like having 2 $10 bills. That's $20, right? That's $20. So this 2 is really 20. So if I take 1 from here, that means I'm taking 1 10. I'm taking a 10. I'm left with a 10, and I take that 10, I put it with the 5. Ask yourself, what is 10 plus 5? 10 plus 5 is 15. That's why when you borrow, what we call borrowing, we do that. It becomes 15. Make sure you understand why it becomes 15, right? Don't get so caught up in just memorizing the process. A lot of us did that when we was in elementary school, and we didn't really understand what we was doing. It became a 15 because you're taking 10 from the tens place and you're giving it to the 5 in the ones place. And what's 10 plus 5? 15. So now we could do 15 take away 8 because we only want to end up with positive values, right? So 15 take away 8 is going to be 7. Now we back to the tens place. And again, we're trying to figure out how old Ibrahim Traore is as of 2025, right? So we would do 1 minus 8, but 1 minus 8 is going to give me a -7. I don't want no negatives. Using the traditional method, I don't want no negatives. So therefore, I'm going to go over to the hundreds place and I'm going to try to borrow. But look, it's a 0 in the hundreds place. Ain't no hundreds over there. You can't get blood from a turnip, right? So you can't get nothing from 0. So then we got to go to the thousands place. So we go to the thousands place. We take 1,000 from this 2,000. So that's going to leave us with 1,000. We take that 1,000, right, which is equivalent. Think about this. This is where the critical thinking comes into play. 1,000 is equivalent to 10 hundreds. 1,000 is equivalent to 10 hundreds because isn't $100 bills the same thing as $1,000, right? We basically just making change. When we're doing this method, this is teaching your child how to make change, right? 1,000 is equivalent to 10 hundreds. So that means this 0 in the hundreds place can become a 10 because we took 1,000 from the thousands place, put it in a hundreds place. Now we got 10. We got 10 hundreds. Now I can then borrow 100, because look, my goal was to make this 1 bigger than the 8, right? Make this 1 bigger than the 8. So I can borrow 100 from this 10, leaving me with 900, right? And then I put, now think about this again, critical thinking. 100 is equivalent to 10 tens. 100 is equivalent to 10 tens because 10 times 10 is 100. And 10 $10 bills is 100 also. So I take that 10, I put it with the 110. Now I got 11 tens. Now I got 11 tens. Now, if any of that didn't make sense, please hit rewind. Please hit rewind. If it still don't make sense, put your question in the comments. Put your question in the comments. All right. So now we're ready to subtract because 11 take away 8 is going to give me a positive number, a positive 3. Right. And then I go to the hundreds place. 9 minus 9 is going to give me 0. And I go to the thousands place. 1 minus 1 is going to give me 0 again. I cross them out. I'm left with 37. So I want us to understand like why we borrow. Like that's the science behind borrowing. That's what's actually happening. So many people, grown men and women, like myself included, once upon a time, I didn't understand why it worked. I just knew how to do it. Give me a problem to subtract. I could do it, but could I explain to you why it works like I just did? As thorough as I just did? No. That's something that came like later in life, right? So I want you to understand this. So as you're helping your children with their homework, helping your children understand how to do subtraction, make sure you're explaining what is actually happening between the different place values. Make sure you're explaining what's happening between the different place values. Like why are the numbers changing? Like where did this 15 come from? Where did this 11 come from? Where did the 9 come from? Where did that 10 come from that was there at first? Why did this 2 turn into a 1? And why did we have to do all that? Because with this method, we don't want negative numbers. Now let's run it back. Let's do it one more time. Let's do it this way. Again, it's 2025. Ibrahim Traore was born in 1988. Now we're going to do the method like we did over here, where we start from the far left. I need to come up with a name for this, right? But we start from the far left, and negative numbers is cool. So 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. 0 minus 9, -9. 2 minus 8, -6. 5 minus 8, -3. So what does this mean? This means I got 1,000, because there's 1 in the thousands place. I got -900, because 9 is in the hundreds place. I got -60, because that 60 is in the tens place. That's how many tens I got. And I got -3, because that's in the ones place. That's why. That's what this means. 1,000, take away 900, take away 60, take away 3. 1,000, take away 900, take away 60, take away 3, and it's going to give you your answer. What's 1,000 take away 900? That's going to be 100. Take away 60, take away 3. What's 100 take away 60? That's going to be 40. Bring that -3 down. What's 40 take away 3? 40 take away 3 is 37. Ain't that what we got up here? So we get the same answer doing the problem in multiple ways, which is a beautiful thing. We don't need to be locked into just one method, right? We can know different methods. We can have variety. We can have options. All right. So just a little something I wanted to go over. I wanted to remind us of some of the history of Burkina Faso, country in West Africa, just north of Ghana. All right. There's a lot of political unrest right now because the brothers and sisters and the people are standing up saying we don't want to be a colony. We don't want to be colonized. All right. And we want to be sovereign. We want to make our own decisions and control our land and control, what we do on our land, in our country. All right. Ibrahim Traore is the current leader. Again, born in 1988. Thomas Sankara was a leader in the 1980s. Born 1949, assassinated in 1987. All right. So do your research on Thomas Sankara. Do your research on Burkina Faso. Do your research on Ibrahim Traore. All right, and the other African nations as well, and other Pan African movements. All right. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. If you have any questions about anything we did, please drop the question in the comments or comment in the comments, and please share this video with at least one other person. All right. Peace.